We're live. So thank you guys for checking out this video, even though there's no one here currently. But I wanted to talk FedEx Cup, and we've had breaking news today. So Brooks Koepka has withdrawn because of where he is in the FedEx Cup. I think he's 90th, 90 something. Only 70 players go through. So Brooks not playing this week guarantees he is out of the FedEx Cup for the rest of the tournament. You know, he's done. So is it a shock? Probably not really. You know, we know he's got a bad knee, and the issue you can have, so with Koepka, it's the left knee, and in golf, because we load across and the manner in which we load into that lead knee, it takes a ton of strain. There are ways to take that strain off. You could open the foot, so you could flare the foot open, or a really good way to protect the knee is to actually straighten it. The problem Brooks has, and this is the same problem that Tiger has, is, let's use Brooks. If he straightens his knee, it puts him in a completely different place, so it totally changes his delivery. When you look at his swing, he's quite up and down, and you would expect somebody that swings like that would jump more. You know, they would have more of that. If you think of like Justin Thomas, he's very high with his hands. He really does jump, so both legs are pretty much straight when he is hitting. Brooks doesn't do that. Brooks does it with his arm structure more. If you actually look at him, he almost he bends and the arm kind of comes away from his body a little bit. It goes past, is that the best way to do it, or is it optimum? It's the way he does it. So he can't go into events trying to do new moves to protect the knee, because then he's not going to hit the ball particularly well. Before the PGA Championships, he was kind of making comments that his coaching team were looking at his weight distribution, or how his pressure was moving in his swing, and they were finding he was sticking back on the right-hand side. You know, I think the figure was 75% was on the right-hand side. So what they're saying is he's struggling to load into his left. I didn't see the graphs, so the way that pressure moves is it can move across to the left and then move back. It's actually very advantageous with driver. So I didn't see, and they didn't kind of release any data on how it was moving. You know, it's not as simple when you talk about ground reactions, whether that be force or pressure, just to say, oh, it all needs to get over onto the left. You know, that's a very simplistic way to look at it. But anyway, what they were saying is he's staying back. He needs to get forwards. If you look at that double cross move that he was getting, you go, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. But if he's got a problem with his knee, it's staying back in the right side because he's probably struggling to physically get across. I mentioned Tiger. Brooks and Tiger have the same problem, as in, can you play all of the FedEx Cup playoffs and then still be physically ready to play the US Open? And Brooks had already played a ton of golf. Tiger's taken a different approach. Tiger's actually not played a great deal at all. You know, he's been taking weeks off. They thought Tiger might actually take this week off, which he didn't. You know, he needs the reps. But Brooks already has had 5-6 weeks on the road. You know, could he, with this bad knee, play through that and then do well in the US Open? Honestly, probably not. So him pulling out now kind of makes sense. Doesn't necessarily mean the knee has got worse over the last couple of weeks. It's just injury management and going, you know what? You know, I can't go through it. I thought it was interesting. So Brooks, on the last day, He was obviously taking some grief as the comments he made on the Saturday, but he was asked, "Are you know what's going to happen now?" He said it will be fine. I've still got 2 more events to play. You know, US Open, Masters. You know, the way Brooks's mind works. I don't think the FedEx Cup is that important to him. You know, I think it should be, but I don't think it is. So what he's done, it makes sense. You know, rest up, you know, mentally recharge, maybe get some rehab on it, then have a couple more solid performances, you know, at the majors. And then, unfortunately, if he needs surgery again, surgery is where he will go in the off season. So that's Brooks. FedEx Cup. It feels weird, doesn't it? It feels it's come too soon. Although it's kind of what we all needed a couple months ago. It's interesting the way that it's developing. JT's going in as I think DeChambeau is actually the favourite. JT has been playing some great golf. Colin, after his PGA champs, is again obviously in very high regard. This week and a few of the weeks, the course is going to be longer, so you know that would lead into JT and DeChambeau. I'm going, and there's only one player in the world that this applies to in my mind. I think Rory McIlroy is going to do really well because he hasn't been doing very well. And I used that in the PGA a couple of weeks ago, and he just didn't get it going. But yeah, I could see Rory. I'm not sure if he's put the new TaylorMade irons in the bag. It looked to me as if he had. You know, those MBs. I haven't seen them in the flesh, but they look beautiful. It'll be interesting if a slight equipment change, something just to create a spark with Rory. You know, and I could see Rory doing well. So Rory is my pick. Get comments down below what you're thinking about. My neck. I had a lot of people asking or sending positivity to me regarding my neck. I have had an MRI. It was what they thought, a bulging disc. It's in 2 discs though, unfortunately. What's this? Cervical. I think it's 6 and does it go up? 6 and 5, 6 and 7. Anyway, the 2 there. So still in a little bit of pain, but it's definitely getting better. The traction seems to have been helping. Just been icing a lot. So hopefully I'll be back playing again soon. I'm going to start filming again. So you'll notice on the channel I've only been doing live stuff. I've been struggling. I can't swing it. So if I can't swing, it's very hard to do videos. So that's why I've been kind of electing to do this format. I haven't filmed like what I would call proper filming, you know, getting the camera up, setting it all up, etc. I haven't done that for a few weeks now, so you know, hopefully, you know, give it a rest over the weekend, and I can get back to doing it as of next week. I have a couple new putters that I need to review, which I'm actually really excited about. Beautiful things from the concept to the design to the manufacturing, the quality of the build. So that will be coming soon. And US Am. You know, who watched the US Am? You know, it showed 2 things for me. And if you've watched the channel for a long time, no doubt I've made this comment before. Match play is so interesting to watch, but it's so unpredictable, it doesn't make it particularly viable commercially. You know, your best player could leave straight away, you know, or get kicked out of the tournament. But the final, you know, 36 holes. Oh, final. See, I'm jumping ahead. The whole, and like if you're watching this in England, it was probably hard to watch because it was on the West Coast. But being here in Florida, it was coming on at about 7 p.m. The matches tended to be in their final stages. Bandon Dunes just looks incredible. And Bandon Dunes kind of showed if we've got this problem with distance and the distance debate, all of the runoffs, they didn't run into collection areas. They ran basically into hazards. So had tons of chances. The course was firm and fiery. A 400-yard hole, on some of them you could knock it up by the green, but there was a risk versus reward. The strategy was so important. The 15th par 3 on Saturday, so the semi-final day, 4 players went through and they played that hole in 9 over. Just because everything was releasing off of the greens. Which just cool. Just the event, just watching it. And the final day, the eventual winner, five down, 36-hole event, gets it back. Then he makes an eagle. He then doesn't finish a couple of holes and then hits a great shot on 18. Par 5, hits it in there to like 15 feet. But yeah, just a really, really cool event, and really does make me want to go to Bandon Dunes. So hopefully that will be a trip I will do next year. I'll happily go out there with Megan and have a good few days. So that was cool. But yeah, just watch. I'm not really putting too many comments in, am I, on this US Open or US Am? Just the fact that I thought it was really, really good. And had the caddy, and he must be feeling so bad. You must have heard this story. The caddy, 18, the eventual winner versus some other kid. Yeah, great with name, Steve. Good work. Good journalism. Hashtag YouTube. Caddy gets in the bunker. They're tied up on 18. And the wind had blown the sand more into the front of the bunker, like more into the face. And the caddy gets in and kind of tests it with his hand. The rule, especially if it's your caddy, the rules are the same as if the player did it. The caddy is basically treated as the player, and match play, the rules are slightly different. So there are certain rules infringements in match play where it's a loss of hole, and that is one of them. I don't know what he was trying to do. I don't know the backstory of who the caddy was. I got the impression it might have been a local caddy, but it might have just been a friend. I don't know. I'm now speculating with no information, but touching the sand, and I'm pleased. And this was my big take home, is the caddy, he's embarrassed. He didn't seem to quite know what he had done. He's trying to justify it, was trying to claim he hadn't. I'm pleased the kid lost the hole, because there would have been nothing worse if the caddy had said, oh, I didn't do it. We work on a game, more so than any other sport, we work on honesty. And then if his player got it up and down and won the match, and then the subsequent footage had come out, that would have been just a terrible situation. One of the worst situations I can think of. So it was a mistake, a very bizarre incident, and I think it could have been worse. And it was nice that the lad, not only did he go through, he went on and he won. And so taking nothing away from him, and it showed actually. In my mind, everything worked out, but yeah, one of those rules of golf, you got to be careful, especially with your caddy. If you're ever playing an event and you bring your friend / partner out and they don't know the rules, we got a lot of caddies were creating penalties by standing in behind the players, and I know they've adapted that rule slightly. In the 2019 rules. Your caddy's not allowed to help you line up anymore. Had a few caddies that not really trying to help them, but with kind of the positioning where they were standing. But anyway, there we go. US Am, I thought it was awesome. The course stood up, just massive drama. But I'm done. I just wanted to chat, really. With this video almost goes far as saying I'm lonely. But as always, thank you for watching. Get some comments down below. If you watched the US Am, did you enjoy it? And what did you enjoy about it? Who do you think is going to come through in the FedEx Cup? Can Tiger, can he get through the the 3 weeks and then jump in and do well at the US Open. He's never he's never had a particularly good record there. He was there practicing this week. It will be interesting. Tiger almost. Be nice for him to have a couple weeks and maybe not make the Tour Champs, you know. So then he gets a bit of a rest, but he kind of needs reps. And like if you've ever had a bad back, you know, sometimes you get it moving, and it feels good. You know, you can sometimes run with it for a few weeks. You know, so it'll be interesting with Tiger how he does. I picked Rory and then Brooks. Let's talk about Brooks in terms of the US Open. Do you think Brooks will do well in the US Open? You know, do you think this rest is going to be good for him? Or do you think his injury is probably the reason why he's been so inconsistent this year? And he's going to need that second surgery. It's looking, listening and reading in between the lines, it's sounding like he's going to need a second surgery. So, you know, hopefully he doesn't. But all in all, get those comments down below. Hope to catch you soon.